Hi everyone, welcome back to another video of mine. This one's going to be about how to get Gara, because my last video about how to get floops was a total mess. The video files were all wonky and recording issues, stuff like that, so I actually ended up deleting it. Okay, so, without further ado, to start off, what you do, well, first off, you don't do this. What I'm going to do is just replay the, quest here, so that, and of course, I did turn back on the transmission volume so you can actually hear what the characters are saying. Yeah, I usually have it off because all the Lotus speech and everything else, as you probably already know, gets quite annoying to me. Ordis, luckily, is not in this mission because I find him exceedingly annoying, so I don't have to turn his volume back on. Alright, just finding it here. Here it is, the Vox Solaris quest. Okay, so to start off, what you do is you have to go and, like, to get Garuda, you have to unlock Fortuna, and to do that, you would start off on Earth, and then, as I said in a lot of my other videos, you make your way to Venus, go past the Venus Junction, complete its quests, and then you get to Fortuna. Well, the thing is with Fortuna is, this quest and everything got to do with it is actually kind of high-ish level. Like, my Warframe here, Valkyria, is really high level, and like it's a maximum level 30 level 30 and modded fully, and even I struggle a little bit with this, and also my weapons are extremely powerful compared to the content here, so if you can't beat it at first, just get a friend. Alright, so once you've gotten to Earth, you then go through these two missions, and then you're able to access Fortuna. It's an instance a lot like Cetus on Earth, so the Plains of Eidolon and all that, so you just click on it and you go there, and then right at the start, you will get a cutscene when you go there, basically of everyone singing and working. But I don't get that because I've already been here and it only happens once. I do have it recorded if you wanted to go and see it. If you want to see that, just tell me and I'll upload it on the channel. Okay, so first thing you'd actually do is go to this person called Yuriko. And I'm not doing that because I've already done this quest to try and figure out what you need to do to get Garuda, so I'm not sitting here wandering around aimlessly and just watching me blunder. Okay, so you'd first go to here and talk to her, and she'd say something or other about helping out this one guy called Thursby. So that all that dialogue has basically been skipped. I just gave you the rundown, and now you go talk to him.
If you need scrap and a snap, just talk to your junkyard diplomat. That'd be me, Thursby, Thunderstruck, Short on Pluck, Down in his luck, whatever. Tell me you want to buy something. Please. I need this.
Yeah, the funny thing is, your only option for dialogue here is just saying, Yuriko sent me. When really, you should, in my opinion, you should actually be able to buy some scrap from him. Because these things in the background here, you can actually purchase with platinum for decorations. And the scrap he actually offers are actually crafting materials for a bunch of things that you can get from Fortuna. So in my opinion, you should be able to actually buy some of this stuff off him, but sadly you can't. All you can click is, Yuriko sent me.
Yuriko sent you? A tenno? To help meet me quota? Well, you know, you could buy some scrap.
Which I really want to do.
If you really wanted to help, you could source me some supplies. Some I can sell. Not this garbage. I know where the taxman keeps the good stuff. If you're up for that sort of thing, boss, head topside.
Yeah, good thing I actually am up for that kind of thing, but the another funny thing is, you know the saying, one man's scrap is, one man's junk is another man's treasure? I'd actually like his scrap a lot. I can kind of cheesed off that I can't buy it from him. You can talk about these things and ask him, like, what about his debt and stuff, but I'll let you do that yourself in your own playthrough. No need to bother with that kind of stuff, because this is all about how to get Garuda and do the mission and everything. So off you go to Fortuna, and as you said, get topside. This loading screen.
Narrow the Valis, boss. She's a miracle, she is. A blizzard in a firestorm. All thanks to the magic of rebooted Oregon tech. And the blood and the sweat of so many thousands of Solaris. But, you know what Yuriko always says. She says,
welcome to Venus. It'll kill ya. Thursby, what's going on? You keeping your nose clean?
Yuriko? Sure am. Just giving a tour to my shiny boss here, you know, earning a wage any way I can.
Alright then, Thursby. Just don't let this outworlder get you into trouble.
Alright,
I
so...
need something
Oh,
I
he's still
can sell,
talking.
you know? Spare parts. Quality merchandise, see? I know where the Corpus drops supplies. You can get in and out before anyone catches wind of what we're up to.
Yeah, so as I was saying before they were blabbering on like that, was that elevator is basically a disguised loading screen, which means the elevator may take longer, the slower your PC is, the longer the elevator will take. Which, even though, yes, it might be a little bit upsetting for you if your PC is kind of a potato, or so people call it. Basically, that means it's really, really kind of bad and old. But in my opinion, it would be kind of hilarious. It's like, no, let's say not you, but let's say you were just witnessing someone and they take it like half an hour to load. They'd be like, oh damn, this is one big long elevator. Yeah, and when Yuriko was saying, welcome to Venus, it'll kill ya, she wasn't talking about the wildlife. She was talking about these Corpus. These are actually Nef Anyo's men. Nef Anyo is this big Corpus fat cat businessman, by the way. And normally I would at this point just deploy my Arcwing and get there. But you may not have an Arcwing, and also I'm close enough here. It was actually only a short jog and flip away.
Sneak and peek, boss. Crates full of the good stuff should be nearby.
It's funny Thursby says that, because he literally just says that I'm looking at one. Yes, you just go up and press X.
If Yuriko would just loosen up, we'd be taxing taxmen on the regular. What else can you find?
Yeah, at points like this, it's very good to bring out your scanner. Doesn't have to be a synthesis scanner, which I did cover previously in one of my previous videos, which is a great addition to your arsenal because it can be upgraded to be infinite. Like, the scans never run out, unlike the regular scanner, which you keep having to buy in units of 500. So the reason why I've got it out is because these things glow. They got this faint little yellow glow to them when you have it out.
Won't be just my debts getting paid off. You're gonna make more than one Solaris happy today, boss.
I'm not sure why Thursby actually says that, because he literally just first says, oh, this is basically my debt getting paid off. And then he says you're gonna make more than one Solaris happy. I guess maybe you'd be making Utica happy because she kind of looks out for him. But really, this is always basically his debt getting paid off so far. It's not anyone else's. Oh, and if you're wondering what I mean by debt, is that these people here, the Solarans, they're basically in debt to Nef Anyo, the big businessman I talked about before, and in this place it's really harsh, so you can actually like lose parts of your body and get them replaced with robotics. And if you go in debt too much, they can actually like permanently take away your arms and sell them. It's kind of nasty. Yeah, so there's the last thing.
Why stop here? With your power, we could hit Nef hard. Make him pay for all he's done to us. Blow up his precious coolant tower before he's even had a chance to show it off to his mucking board.
Thursby? What are you thinking? You're on an unsecured channel. You want a Corpus spy drone hearing what you're up to. Muck this. Too late. Got no choice. Tenno, you got Thursby into this mess, so you can damn well help him out of it.
Yeah, in my opinion, this is actually kind of...
Tenno, you're looking for the Corpus spy drone that overheard Thursby's little guided tour. Find the drone before it reports back to Central Command.
So as I was saying, in my opinion, this is how they've done that, like all the voice lines and everything in this quest. It's kind of unfair, because you were just helping out Thursby, and then he basically tells you to go and steal some crates, which, of course, I guess you could say no to it, but the quest doesn't even allow you to say no at this point. And then basically through Thursby blabbering, it's his fault the Corpus spy drone even heard him. He should really know better at this point. I mean, sure, maybe you'd let it slip, but this is a life and death situation.
Ground it. And I'll see if I can still hack one of these things.
Yeah, so at this point, you just shoot the drone to disable it.
Hold on, Tenno. It's been a while since I did this. Now, where is that recording of Thursby? Here come the taxmen. Keep him off the drone till I'm finished with it.
Yeah, I kind of pity Yuriko here, because she says, now where's that recording of Thursby? This is a spy drone. Can you imagine how much it's been spying through and how much you'd have to listen to? Like, could you imagine just listening to two Solaris just complaining about how their pizza was crap and how it was kind of rotten for like 30 minutes. Well, I guess not 30 minutes straight, but you know, in fact, I'm amazed how she's even able to just like, in this short amount of time when you're killing 30 enemies, even find the recording of Thursby. I guess she's got some kind of program that can just rapidly flick through it, because I know that if I was looking through this, it'd probably take me like 3 days, and by then it would have probably transmitted to Thursby, or in this case, me, the 10 who's right here right now, would probably be gone. Yeah, I could not do what Utico's doing, I think, without a program. I mean, sure, I might be a little bit technical-minded when it comes to computer stuff, but I haven't tried programming itself, like in real life, because I've heard nightmare stories about it. Like, for instance, while I'm just doing this mission, might as well tell you about it. I heard a story about this one guy. He's programming a game where basically it's really simple. You just move this ball around, and he said that basically he tried to do a little bit without help, got some code together, and then his friend came along and was like, oh, that's a nice job you did, but there's one problem. And he went, what? And he basically, the friend pressed right on his keyboard, and as the little ball moved like 1 pixel to the left, the entire game went black and crashed. And at this point, this guy just said, okay, screw it, I am done with coding forever, which I don't blame him for. Yeah, so through hearing stories like that, and also some other stories of some friends of mine who tried coding, I don't really want to try it. Also, I'm not sure why, but that corpus just fell to the floor. Must have been a bit of a bug. Yeah, also, fun fact while I'm doing this, I actually kind of count myself in this game as a bit of a corpus sympathizer. If you don't know what that means, even though it makes no difference in the game mechanics, I like to fight alongside the corpus a lot more than I do the Grania, and sometimes I even pick their deals in invasions and battles and stuff, even if their deal is slightly worse. But in this case, I don't feel bad for killing these guys at all, because I know they're working for Nef Anyo, and he is one gigantic scumbag. So I guess it's just danger that comes with the work, and yeah, I guess a little bit bad that I'm killing these, but I mean, hey, what can you do? I'm trying to record this, and I need this recorded.
Take out as many as you can. Keep them quiet.
Yeah, which is one thing I also really don't give. The corpus are legging it, and even one makes it out.
Well.
They could probably...
Right, Spark, and no mistake.
They could probably, like, tattletale about me attacking the spy drone, and Nef Anyo would send even more people to find it. Alright, and now you're meant to return to Fortuna, the main place. And the thing I really think is a bit of an oversight about this mission is even if you fly here really fast with this Arcwing, you are going to trigger the following cutscene, which usually, in my opinion, I think is meant to happen after you get there not so quickly. But I'm, like, racing home here as fast as I can. And I'm pretty sure it hasn't even taken me a minute yet, and you'll see what's going to happen soon. Oh, and if you're wondering what that is, that's focus. That's got to do with a little bit of spoiler stuff. Just don't worry about it. Oh, okay. So, apparently, I don't really think the cutscene really played here. It might be glitched or something. But again, I can give you like a little rundown of, oh wait, no, never mind. It hasn't happened yet, so yeah, you talk to him.
Yuko says that if I try anything like that again, she'll rip my arms off herself.
I was getting ahead of myself there.
Look at this! Yesterday, didn't have enough lucre to stay out of repo. Now, I got what I need to open my own shop. Get me head out of the red. All I need is a right hook. Something to set old Thursby apart. Something memorable. Oh, almost forgot. Biz heard of what you did. Said he wanted to speak with you. Lower parts, get a head start. If you're building a cart with Thursby...
Yeah, basically, Thursby's whole shtick and deal here is that he constantly tries rhyming to get customers. That completely puts me off. That actually makes me like an anti-customer. That makes me want to punch him in the face, even though he is kind of a little bit adorable. I mean, I don't really want to punch him in the face. I kind of do after a while. In my opinion, just a big neon light saying, get your shit here, would be a much better idea. Certainly afterwards, he basically directs you to this guy, the Biz, or the Business. That's his nickname anyway.
The Tenno Utico mentioned. How do you do, Outwelder? My mission is to conserve this region's unique species. You know, before the corpus drive them to extinction. I'm known as the Business. Utico calls me Biz. It wasn't always about the preservation of life, more the strategic deletion of it. Conservation may be my calling now, but the scales still require an occasional adjustment. Head to the Vallis if you're looking for some work.
Yeah, funny thing is, this guy, he says he's all about conservation of life. Yeah, he's also the local fisherman, rolled into one. And I'm pretty sure something else as well. Just can't remember it right now. But basically, yeah, that guy's got a lot of jobs on his shoulders. And if he's wondering what he's talking about, the conservation of life, that's the thing I was talking about right at the start of the video that I tried to record that failed. Loose.
Send a message. I've learned that the head of the Corpus Repo Squad has made a hit list of indebted Solaris. Before his goons can do their thing, I've got a K-bomb with his name on it.
Biz! That's not what we discussed. Wait. There's a repo list? Who's on it? Crap. Okay. Fine. But we do this my way. No K-bombs. Had about enough mess for one day.
Okay, so basically what they were talking about there was what I talked about
we
before.
Do this quietly, and maybe, just maybe, Neff doesn't find out. Biz, this isn't the old days. We've got no leverage now. All we can do is try to save our people from getting ground up by the bureaucracy.
People are already getting ground up, UD. Debt on debt, accident by accident, repo by repo. How many even remember actual freedom?
Yeah, so now that I finished talking, I can talk. What I was trying to explain before is that the repo stuff is basically what I've explained. So, Biz there wanted to go and get a K-bomb, which I've figured out later from the swap. Obviously, it's some kind of bomb. You're gonna see what it does later in the story. But, he wanted to basically go and blow up someone with a repo list so that data is kind of erased and they aren't, like, they don't have the permission from Neff and you to go after... Oh, split chamber, that's a rare mod. They don't have the permission to go after all the indebted Solaris and they got a little more time to flee and stuff. Basically what I said before, they're planning to basically take them into custody and take some of their arms and legs as payment.
Don't get noticed. If they destroy the data, we won't know who to hide from Neff's repo squad.
Oh, so that's what they're trying to do, hide from the repo squad, okay. So, yeah, this mission's kind of, you call it a spy mission. So that's why I'm going along here, along this rat here, and trying to deal with the Corpus all silent-like. Even though I'm not crouching or anything, I'm doing a good enough job keeping stealth. Although it's very hard to get in here without noticing, like, alerting anyone, because unless your guns are silenced, it doesn't really work. I'll show you what I mean. Like, I'll shoot this, and then shoot the grate, and all the corpus around here have, like, obviously heard a gunshot, and they're like, oh crap, we're under attack, quick, shoot something, shoot whatever it is, shoot the 10 or whatever. So that's why I'm really quickly trying to get in here and hack it before anything happens. And I actually did it. Without even setting off the alarm.
Okay. Guns. Biz, this says they're going after your field team. Today.
They're already overdue for a check-in. Outworlder, you need to find my team before Neff's repo squad does.
Yeah, so that's the next part of the mission. Go find the team, because they don't want them caught, dismantled and stuff. If you're wondering what that red thing in the corner is, that's basically the alert level. It goes up as you leave these little blinking red beacons around, and if they get left around too long, the alert level goes up, and basically, it's like the wanted level in GTA 5. The higher it is, the more dangerous things get, but sometimes you want it actually up.
Because they chose the calling of conservation over filling Neff's pockets. It seems like the preacher wanted to make a point. But this isn't the whole team. We need more info. Search the bodies.
Yeah, so basically you press X on and you crouch,
There's
apparently
something in
searching
the
them.
buffer.
But I
We
guess
need to get it decoded before the device fails.
I guess you,
Accessing buffer. Analyzing.
yeah, as you can see, I guess you're just really looking at it and like scanning it or something for data, while Utico does all the actual like sifting through the data. Because I'm not really doing anything here.
Buffer.
I'm just looking at it.
Final transmissions. Come on, final transmissions.
Also, I find it kind of hilarious what she said there, if you didn't hear, because I was kind of talking over her. She basically said inputting password hello, so that guy's password was hello. Don't ever do that. Like, why I find it hilarious is, should be pretty obvious, but in case you don't realize, it's a terrible password, really easy to guess, super easy to break. You want to include some numbers and probably some capitalization in your password to really throw off any people.
Taking a quick look around. Itinerary, patrol log coordinates, reports, blah, blah, blah.
The survivors are being held nearby, awaiting processing. Yudiko, we don't have long.
Not again. Listen, Sparky. I need you to get in there and get our people back. And you don't need to be nice about it.
Funny, because while she was saying that, I was like doing exactly what she said. You need to get in there, I was already there. You don't need to be nice about that, I was already smashing the corpus in the face. Yeah, and now you can just wait for the hack process. There's two ways you can go about this. One way is you kind of just go out and try and find all these like little red beacons, because if you kill the guy with these, they actually speed up the hack process. But if you're finding all the corpus a little hard to face and everything like that, and they're kind of doing a lot of damage to you, like they actually are doing a decent amount to me here, then the other tactic, especially since they drop all these turrets and stuff like that, is just go back inside the building and stay there as the hack finishes, because for some reason the corpus don't get the idea to just aim through this laser grid and do what I'm doing and just shoot the repo squad before you can get to them, because that'd be kind of like, I mean, before you can save them, because that'd be kind of your mission failed, I guess. And it definitely sends a message to the Solaris that yes, they had a Tenno helping them, but the Tenno has just failed protecting them, so that kind of tells the Solaris, hey, even with the Tenno helping you, you still got no chance. Yeah, also, as you can tell, I'm actually getting a lot of mods from this. In my opinion, like from my personal experience, you get a lot more mods from this area than you do from even some missions like whatchamacallit, like excavation on Earth, which spawns heaps and heaps and heaps of enemies, which I covered in my How to Get Platinum video, by the way. I wanted to watch that. That place, it spawns heaps and heaps of enemies, but the mods you drop, they're way more at this place. So if you're ever like a new player to this game, and you can group up with a bunch of people, or maybe even not, maybe you can even handle this solo if you have good enough mods and stuff, then just go to this place, go to Solaris, and then just start hacking down the corpus actually. And you get plenty of mods, and that either translates to plenty of credits or endo. At first I was actually all against selling mods for credits. I thought that's a huge waste. Just...
Did you think I didn't notice your little heist earlier? Quite a stunt you pulled with that young... what was his name? Thursby.
Oh no. Tenno, you have to get back here before they get to him.
Yeah, this is the part I was talking about before, where... Now this is the part I was talking about, so...
Nah, you just missed a beat. Oh, I didn't do nothing. You don't understand. Stop!
Yeah, so even though Thursby was basically kidnapped there, I'm right now already at the gate. And this is the only way in or out of this place, besides a vent that I guess you fall in from the top there somewhere, because that's how you come in originally. Now, I'm pretty sure those Corpus dudes did not have jetpacks, so I frankly don't understand here why I couldn't intercept them, because they should be coming up this elevator right about now, and at this point, I should just be able to point my gun at them, and they just enter the elevator, and they're like, oh shit, it's the Tenno, and then you just hear a gunshot, screams the Corpus is dead, and Thursby is saved. But no, this quest will play out one way and one way only, no matter how fast you are, sadly. So that's why there's now a police line saying probably something rather like "Do not cross." If you want, you can actually like pause the video at this point and take a look at this, because this is actually real lettering. The Corpus language in like the Warframe universe does exist, and if you just search up Corpus Translator, you'll probably be able to go and figure this out yourself by just inputting these letters, like finding out what these letters mean in English, and then inputting this and then finding out what this actually says. I'm pretty sure it says something along the lines of danger, do not cross, or something, or police investigation in process, because why wouldn't it be? That's pretty much what's going on here. So yeah, now we just talk to Yuriko.
Thursby. I was supposed to protect him, and now he's in pieces. The medic's not sure if they can stabilize him with so much missing. This was a mistake, letting you get involved. Why did I listen to Biz? Maybe it's not too late to impress Neff before his big unveiling. Appeal to his mercy. Show him what we can do. Get topside. I'll fill you in.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure that was obviously meant to tug on your heartstrings a little bit. Oh no, poor Thursby. But I actually kind of, like, the first time I was playing this, I kind of laughed because I was like, she was like, we should have never gotten you. I'm like, damn right, this is all your fault. I did nothing wrong. Besides you just shooting Neff's men, and that was only because they shot back.
Not ready. My engineers need a mineral, amarast, to counter the inevitable heat cascade. I've marked an excavation site where you should find some. Bring it back, and maybe we stop the entire Valis from being bathed in slag.
Yeah, this is kind of funny, because Yuriko says, go get this stuff from excavation site, which basically means you're doing an excavation mission next up. But, if she really wanted to protect the people,
Amarast,
she would send me out...
Understand? Nothing you do will make Neff kind. The more you give, the more he'll take. When you rise up, people get hurt. But if we let that fear divide us, it will only get worse. I saw a Yuriko I haven't seen for years back there. Fortuna needs that Yuriko back. We need Vox.
Yeah, okay, so let me just not go on with the mission right now, because I want to explain two things. First off, what Yuriko could have done at this point is sent me out with a huge bunch of credits, or even asked me to go into my own personal credits, because I might be willing to do that at this point. I got like around 100,000, which is pretty much what you need to like free at least one of the Solarans from dead. And you could, like, let's say I had more at this point. Let's say I had like 500,000. I could go in here, give that to Neff Anyo as a bit of a sorry thing for killing his guys, and then go work with these guys to dig up this. Right now, what she wants me to do is basically place an illegal excavator and shoot Neff Anyo's men to power it. To get and steal their power cells, which would just make him more angry, and this is her way of apparently pleasing him. I don't get her logic at all. And also, if you're wondering what the business was talking about there, or Biz was talking about, he was talking about, basically what he means by the old Yuriko is in the past, Yuriko's tried to start an uprising, and Neff Anyo squashed it because the Tenno weren't around. He killed heaps of her people, and now that's why she constantly wants to please him, and that's what he's talking about, the old Yuriko, because, and what he means by Vox Solaris is that was the, like this fake nickname she was using since the corpus didn't really know who she was. But, and also, but I guess if I was bringing a stealth frame and did this, wait, no, never mind. I was gonna say if I did this entire thing stealthy, the corpus might not know about it, but as soon as you get to this excavator here, they detect that it's been illegally placed, and then come running for you in all these squads, so they'd know someone here is messing around, and they obviously trace it back to being Yuriko, so, because she and, Biz and Thursby have already messed up so far in Neff Anyo's eyes. So even if you're low-key, constantly stealth at this point, they still kind of know what's going on, because not many things other than a Tenno can really just, like, obliterate corpus while invisible, so the corpus would be like getting torn apart by, like, invisible shotgun shots, whatever you're using at this point, and the plan still wouldn't work. Yeah, this is what I meant by killing Neff Anyo's dudes and stealing his power. And at this point, I'm pretty sure each of these corpus dudes have like got a camera somewhere hidden in their helmet, recording everything. So there's no way this is not getting unnoticed. And like, how can you really stop a transmission at this point? They would be able to be transmitting back to base, I'm pretty sure at this point. Because these are like, these are corpus we're talking about, and they're the most high-tech faction there is so far. Well, besides the Orokin, but they're nearly all dead. And they don't really feature much in the story. Yeah, so even though I'm killing these basically in one hit with my weapon, or 2 shots, you may be needing to do a little more with your weapons, especially if you're using the starter weapons like the MK1 Bratton. And don't worry if you fail these missions like a few times, just try again. No harm done. Oh, and this is the thing I was talking about. It raises the alert level. So I'm destroying it right here because I really don't want the alert level raised. I deal with all these corpus one by one. Not one by one, but like alone. Not alone. I mean, what I mean to say is I don't want heaps and heaps and heaps of enemies just coming in from the sky and like then spawning their much tougher things like hyenas, which is kind of like a, I guess a dog or a cat-like robot. Really nimble, got really good guns on it, that kind of stuff.
That should be enough. Get to the coolant tower before Neff turns on the juice.
Yeah, so, that, just so you know, if you excavate it, it explodes.
Solaris! The investor showcase is tomorrow, and you lot still maintain the coolant tower is not ready. Have you no faith? My test run will commence now, and the board shall know it was I, Nathaniel, who brought the glory of the Oracle to life once more!
Yeah, so basically Neff wants to start already.
Neff's gonna trigger a heat cascade if he boots that coolant tower up without the Amara. He's going to get us killed. Hurry.
Well, I think she said, what I was thinking is...
Solaris, why isn't it working?
I love that line.
Fix this!
We're too late. Come back to Fortuna, Tina.
Yeah, that's why that little red light's blinking.
Solaris, this disaster is your bumbling. Present me your floor boss.
I am. Floor boss. Unico. FB9. I take responsibility for this.
Finally, one of you shows some backbone. Floor boss, select 50 workers of low efficiency and have them in front of Fortuna for repo. Their upgrades I shall bequeath to Solaris of greater efficiency. And for the failures, brain shelving. Make your list. You have 1 orbit hour.
Brain shelving is basically where they take the person's brain out and do something with it. I'm not really sure. Maybe they use it for, computing or something?
You're not going through with this.
Not now, Biz.
I'm not really sure. Like, maybe they use it for what the Matrix does. If you didn't know what I'm talking about, basically, in the movie The Matrix, these machines conquer Earth. They're originally created by humans, and then they basically get humans, put them in the Matrix, which is a fake digital simulation, and they use their brains for computing power because of like the electrodes and everything going through it. Because the humans basically put a nanospore cloud in the sun, in the atmosphere that blocks out the sun.
Ever since Neff crushed Solaris United, killed my friends,
That's what I was talking about before, Solaris United.
Keeping him happy. Thought it was the only way to keep people safe. It's not working. Biz is right. Someone needs to say something. Do something. Listen, you don't have to help. You can leave Fortuna and never come back. Wouldn't blame you. This isn't your fight. But, Sparky, Neff's massing his troops outside our doors, and you're the only thing standing between us and bloody oblivion.
Yeah, so then you get 2 options, which is, I need a moment, and I'll help. I originally thought this was, I'll think about it. I think they might have changed this in the update. But, in fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was I'll think about it, which I loved. Which is, I love that answer. It's just like the fact that you can be like, yeah, sure, I'll help. Or you can be like, I'll think about it, and you just leave it on the ship. I find that that thought hilarious. I think these guys are all screwed. Just, you know, it's kind of a little bit more than sad, but, like, when you look at it in a black human perspective, like I'm doing right now, it's quite funny. And, the other thing is, I was thinking, yeah, sure, I'll help. What's going through my mind is basically this song I'm going to edit in now. So yeah, as you could hear from that sound clip, my mind was thinking all about the money. Not really actually helping these guys that much.
Take this.
Yeah, trust me.
Present
Sure,
for the
I'm not
monarchy
in for the
tax.
pay or anything. Yeah,
Why
you can
don't
trust me.
deliver it to them?
And honestly, I was kind of cracking up throughout this quest because normal people would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a good tenor. I'm like a good person. Show out these people." And I was just like, "When do I get paid? Damn it!"
What are you trying to do, Utico? Buy him off? You've lost it. Wait, where's my K-bomb?
And that's another line I love. Just like
Where's
she
my
stole it.
50 Solaris, Fortuna? You're wasting my time. Who do you think you are?
Also, that's kind of funny because Neff said he's gonna give them one solar rotation,
Now, Sparky, get that case as close as you can to them.
which is basically one day, and now he's completely changed his mind. I love Neff. He's just like, "Oh, why are you taking so long, Solaris?" But it hasn't even been a day yet. So yeah, that's what a K-bomb
Now
is.
give them hell. But
An
first,
EMP.
We are the used, the mutilated, the indebted. We are Solaris, united. And this tunnel is our messenger. Hello, Neff.
At this point, I find it really funny if you die because, like, this Tenno is our messenger, and they're dead.
I killed that voice. You are a ghost. But I don't believe in ghosts.
I find that line hilarious as well.
Possessions immediately. Recognize the importance of our work. These are our demands.
I will find you.
Yeah, because basically, that's like Nathaniel basically. It's like, imagine if Santa Claus is walking up to Nathaniel and he's like, "Hey, would you like some presents?" He's like, "You are Santa Claus, but I don't believe in Santa Claus," even though he can still see him right there. Like, the person he doesn't believe in is literally talking to him. How thick can you be, man? Yeah, if you're wondering what all that sound is, that's what it is. A giant killer robot spider.
Sparky, not worth it. Get back in here. Ned won't risk destroying Fortuna with that orb. We've bought the time we need.
It's kind of funny, because she says Neff won't risk destroying Fortuna, yet he's pretty much gonna destroy Fortuna with his coolant tower if it went wrong by
That's
accident.
right. Scuttle back to your hole. I'm going to replace the lot of you with mowers. In the meantime, Prophet Taker here will make sure you stay good and planted.
Funny thing about that is,
I owe you an apology, Udi. And if you see Vox, pass along my thanks.
No, Biz. Thank you for not giving up on me. We all live together.
And we will. We just poked a Kubradon, and if we don't show him who's in charge, we're lunch.
okay, so before I enter Solaris, I want to explain two things. First off, I'm not really grounded anyway. Like, Neff's got no chance of catching me because I got an Arcwing. I can just deploy that and fly over, you stupid spider. And you can get an Arcwing from the planes of Eidolon previously and do this mission, which makes that entire spider kind of just, why is it even there? I can still wreak havoc on these troops elsewhere. And also, if you're wondering who that weird voice that was talking before, that was basically Utico here, pretending to be Vox Solaris with a voice translator again.
Sparky, Solaris United's just getting started. Neff won't want us messing with his investor showcase. He's planted that orb mother out there to make sure we stay in here. But now is the time to press for leverage. Head to the surface when you're ready. I've arranged a little something for you.
Yeah, and most people in this are probably really going to enjoy what a little something is. You see why.
Roki lent us her personal K-drive.
That's why.
Fastest board in the Vallis. See if you can't slip right past that spider mama.
Yeah, so this is what they're talking about. On a skateboard. One of the most neatest things about this update.
No hope of outgunning that orb.
Because you can do tricks on it, and that gets you mods, which lets you do even better tricks. Basically, you become a skater pro. Yeah, and there. Got past it. That's how easy it was. Oh, those things right there, coil drives, they're actually a bigger problem than that spider thing. Avoid them while you're in a K-drive, because otherwise they will run you over and flatten you. It's like, when you run into a freeway in GTA 5. Yeah, so this is pretty much also how you get the standing for the vent kids to get your own personal K-drive built, and those other parts. You just constantly do flips like this. The more flips you do, the more points you get. I actually have my own personal K-drive, even though I shouldn't be able to have it yet. I just bought it with Platinum because I didn't know exactly how the K-drive building worked yet, and I didn't really want to bother with all the parts.
When this is all over. Right now, we got a job to do.
And it takes ages to farm, by the way. You have to do tricks over and over and over and over, or do the
You
races.
made it. Time to give Neff a taste of repossession. Patch me into the coolant tower's control system.
Which is this thing right here. You just need to hack it, which you can either use a cipher for, or just do it normally because it's a really easy hack.
Corpus engineers! What's going on down there? I've lost control of the coolant tower. The investors are watching. Acknowledge.
You never had control, Nathaniel. This tower is Solaris United property. We do with it as we please.
You weasels picked the wrong day for collective bargaining. Corpus kill squads, converge on the control cluster at once. Investors! Everything is under control!
Let's turn up the heat on Neff.
If you're wondering what he's talking about there by investors, he's basically talking to a bunch of people on the Corpus board, probably.
Just trying to damage my coolant tower. Oh, of course, all your groveling has moved the bleed-heart Tenno to come to your aid. No matter, my kill squads will carry you all swiftly to the void.
You have been warned. Say goodbye to your precious terraforming project.
Investors! Enjoy this display of security prowess. Rest assured your investment is protected.
Yeah, so what Nathaniel is basically talking about there is the investors are members of the Corpus board. So if you don't know what that is, in previous cinematic for it was the trailer for the PlayStation 4 when Warframe was getting released in that, which was also the update when Valkyrie was introduced. They first started introducing the Corpus board and kind of coming up with the ideas for it. So basically, they're also a bunch of really high up businessmen. And in fact, yeah, the investors are kind. Why are we even talking about this? The investors, just imagine investors in real life. They're investing in Nathaniel's business, and basically the reason why you heard booing in the background
Solaris United.
is
In
because
the
they're
name
unhappy.
Of the void, I command you to stop. You're putting my entire enterprise at risk.
Stop the repossessions. Acknowledge our work. Honor the age-old accord between Solaris and Corpus.
Yeah, so as I was saying before, they are basically average real-life investors, and they, of course, unhappy because the stocks are going to go down for Nathaniel's business, which they've obviously bought. If his coolant tower goes boom, or bye-bye, it's basically the same thing, which is exactly what you're trying to achieve here. Oh, and those, if you're wondering why it's getting pushed back into this provisor here, they're really annoying. They basically shoot this beam. And this is also why you don't want to get too far away from this thing. It takes a really large amount of damage really quickly from all these Corpus mowers and everything nearby. And
Blow that tower, and you'll
those guys are really
destroy
annoying as well.
Fortuna.
Your fortune is what dies with us, Nathaniel. And we know that to men like you, poverty holds a greater dread than death.
it's kind of funny that they say that because it'd be really hilarious if Nathaniel just went, you know what? I'm calling your bluff, and then they didn't detonate the tower and didn't get what they wanted because as you're gonna probably see really soon. Well, yeah, you're gonna see what happens.
Wait. Fine. I'll halt the repossessions. Is that what you want? Stop this.
Never forget, Solaris make the Valus work. No Solaris, no Valus. Do we have an understanding?
Yes. I understand.
All I needed to hear. Sparky, drop the Amarest in. Fingers crossed this even works.
Yeah, so that's not really a smart plan by Yuriko, because she said like, fingers crossed this even works. If this didn't work, you'd be dead, and so they. Like, the 10 will be dead, everyone will be dead.
Investors, please! I swear! The system works. This is just a minor hiccup. Some minor labor relation issues to deal with. Understand, right? Right? Where are you going?
I love it how he says where you're going.
The heat cascade is dissipating. Readings returning to normal. That did it. Well then, Sparky. Looks like SU is back. Only a matter of time. If it wasn't me, someone else would have done it. Meanwhile, you come see me anytime. Solaris United's got plenty of work for you.
Yeah, so now you're meant to return to Fortuna, but before I do, just I wanted to explain basically, like, imagine, just picture in your head a bunch of investors, all with their coil drives, when if Anu says, where are you going? They just get in them and start driving away, like you hear car noises. Oh, that'd be hilarious. If I want to see someone edit that. Like, I'm not good enough with editing to do that myself, but it'd be great if, like, if you do that yourself, I really want to see it. Please post in the comments below if you edit basically a bunch of coil drives on this place driving away, like, or someone like getting in a, or even like playing a clip in reverse of a corpus getting out of a coil drive, until they do, and then just play a clip of the coil drive driving away with car that was right after, and then Anya does that. Another idea you could also do is basically when Yuriko says, let's see if this even works, you drop the coordinate in and then just basically play a clip of a nuke going off. So like, nope, it didn't work, everyone's dead, goodbye. I'd love to see that as well. Oh, and yeah, what happened there was I done too many flips and hit the ground, because when you hit the ground with this, you ragdoll, which can actually be quite hilarious. Like, I'll show you again. I'm gonna send myself right off into the, oh, that didn't actually happen there. I'll try it again. You can like send yourself off into the water and stuff like that. Quite funny. Damn, I'm trying to actually ragdoll myself now. It's not working. Yeah, there, it happened. I was actually like, I ragdolled so much, I just sent myself off into the water. It's also really fun to do this if you get up to some really, really high places. But when you do this, one thing you really should keep in mind is that I've actually seen another video of someone else doing that with a K drive, and they killed themselves. Like, they ragdolled so hard that they actually, like, their character died. Which means if you do that 4 times in a row, you've used up all your revives and any mods and stuff you collected in the actual mission you don't get. So pay attention to that. Oh, and if you didn't know before, K drives can go on water because they are bloody awesome. And I'm pretty sure, don't exactly quote or count me on this, but I'm pretty sure you actually get to keep this K drive after you completed this mission. It's your own personal free K drive. You just can't customize until you either build or buy your own with Platinum. Yeah, and that's basically the quest completed. And after you completed, there's one last thing which you would get. Let me just show you it. I need to just go back to it. In fact, no, why am I doing that? I can just go to communication right here. Okay, so in your inbox, you basically, here it is. Yes, this message from Yuriko. So she says, one more thing, Sparky. Smokefinger found this blueprint embedded in a tangle of Orvelis fungi years ago. Didn't know what to do with it until you came along. I want you to have it. Least you can do. Don't be a stranger, Yuriko. These items have been delivered to your inventory. Attachments. The Garuda Warframe. This is what you want. And this is hilarious because I forgot what YouTuber said this, but one of them basically, I was watching their video and they said, oh, in fact, yeah, now I remember, it was called he was called Tiburos or something like that, or Tiburon, so sorry if I'm butchering his name and he's watching this. I'll put a link to his video where he talks about Garuda. In fact, his video is excellent about how to modder and everything. And he basically says that the Orvelis people were out dumpster diving in a mushroom field. They found this Warframe blueprint, and then right at the end of the quest, they're like, we don't know what to do with it. You have it, which I find hilarious. In fact, this entire quest, in my opinion, for all the wrong reasons, and like how I act and everything, is a great bunch of laughs in Warframe. I love it. Yeah, so this actually pretty much covers it for this stage of the quest. And stay tuned for part 2, because this video is going on long enough, where I show you how you actually get all the Garuda parts, because doing it all in one big long video will probably take up much longer than an hour, and I'm pretty sure this has already been half an hour long so far. So yeah, gonna actually get my 10 the wave here, so yeah, bye for now, and hope you enjoyed watching, and hope you found the quest as hilarious as I did. Yeah, bye.